Good morning, everybody. It's Jen from Flow Massage Therapy, and I'm here with a very dear friend, client, and collaborator, Sue Rodrigues. We're here to talk about some really key issues concerning your self-care. What does that mean? It means when you wake up in the morning and you feel like something's not right, or you have a little bit of pain, or movement is a little bit restricted. Sue came to me for a shoulder injury, correct? Mm-hmm. Can you tell everybody a little bit about it?
So I play a lot of tennis, and I really didn't stretch before, during, or after. So I'm using my muscles. They're contracting, but I'm not doing anything to release them. And I have all this information because of my connection with Jen. I didn't know that before. Now I realize you have to release them. You have to stretch them. You have to release them so that they continue to work. The way I was going, I was just all bunched up and in pain. Went to so many different providers, ortho. I can't even remember the list.
But traditional Western medicine, what you would normally do, which is very, very good for many, many cases.
Yes.
Okay. But in this case, your pain lasted for how long?
It was months. And not only did you do releasing physically, but you did like anti-inflammatory.
I put you on a particular mat, propio electromagnetic frequency mat that I have that's very good to reduce inflammation while I'm working on the shoulder. But you spent months unable to really do the things you love. Play tennis. It's terrible. You know, when we finally got together and you couldn't help yourself but to complain about pain, I grabbed her shoulder. So she has a little trauma when I grab her shoulder, right? Or any part of her body now. She always says, don't hurt me. It's like, I'm not hurting you. When you touch or you find the right spot, a little bit of pressure goes a long way because it's that one particular muscle that needs to be addressed. So what happened after, how many sessions did we do before?
Not that many, a handful.
I'd say maybe two.
Mm-hmm.
And they weren't really full sessions. They were more like 30, 45 minutes where we socialized and I worked on her at the same time.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
But how's the shoulder now?
Honestly, to tell you the truth, like, don't remember the pain. Like, I don't even remember it.
Right. Because now she knows what to do
Yep.
to maintain that full range of motion and flexibility for her to be able to play.
Yes. And the other thing that Jen taught me, too, was to be more in touch with my body, which I thought I was already. But, you know, she'd say, like, you could feel where it's tight. And I'm like, how am I going to know where it's tight? You know, and so now I can almost pinpoint when there's a tightness where it is and to put pressure on those spots. So not only is she a good physical manipulator, she's an awesome educator, because now a lot of things I can not just cure on my own, but prevent. You know, when I feel a tinge of something, I know to address it. You know, we've talked a lot about whispers,
Right.
and the body gives a lot of clues if we tune into them. So she's also helped me, you know, to tune into my body talking to me.
Yeah. And every single day and every moment of the day, your body is whispering to you going, hey, hey, hey. Now, what happens when you don't listen? It goes, now we have to go to the ER.
Right.
And you don't understand why you're at the ER. How did it lead up to this?
Yep.
It's because first it was a pain here, then it was a pain here, then it started encroaching on your shoulder, and now it becomes a migraine, and you're like, oh my God, Tylenol is not working because, you know, I have this headache. And we have this saying in massage therapy, the origin of your pain is never where you feel the pain. So Sue's headache could have started in her wrist, moving up to her elbow, up to her shoulder, through her trops, and into her skull. Okay? Why? Because it's like twisted pantyhose or twisted tights. if the toe, when you put on your tights and the toe is a little bit twisted, you're like, I'm not taking my shoe off to straighten that out. But you go for an evening and you walk 2 miles to dinner, this, that, and everything else. And before you know it, that little twisted spot in your toe has moved to your ankle, up to your knee, and it becomes harder for you to move. Tell us again, Sue, what else? You came to me, now that you knew better, we were having lunch, and you came to me and you said something about your forearm.
The forearm, yeah.
Into your elbow.
Once again, just thinking, okay, tennis elbow. But what Jenn taught me was to get in there and feel it and where and address not maybe where the tightest spot is, but before that, and release up into that. I can heal myself. I still need Jenn because if she can pinpoint it more accurately.
You can pinpoint it also because you feel it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I charged you $20 for this. And this was like 2 minutes. I made a lot of money. So I said to her, put your arm, relax it on the table. And as she was doing that, I looked at her arm and I just saw some tension there. You know how you can see sometimes when people go like that, you can see excess tension? I did. And I just put my hand on it and gently pressed. And she goes, ow! And I said, that's where it is. Hold it and stretch that out.
And the hold it, that's what I wasn't getting. When I do my daily stretching, I hear Jenn in my head saying, hold it longer. If you're only holding it, if you're doing yoga for 20 minutes and you're doing 20 exercises, that's too much. You should only be doing like 3 or 4. So to hold them 30, 60, 90 seconds, 120, the longer you hold it, the more it allows the muscle to release.
Well, that's called transformation because you're creating muscle memory, good muscle memory. And so that when you go to play a tennis match, all you have to do is remind your body for that 30, 60 seconds, okay, we're going to go do this. Remember, we used to do this and do this, and then you can go play. But when you're doing your prep work and you're doing your recovery, you sometimes have to feel for the dissimilar muscles in your body. What does that mean? You have several muscles here that make up movement between your wrist and your elbow. And I like going squishy, squishy, hard, squishy, squishy. This little hard muscle down here on the belly of her forearm and everything is something that for some reason has contracted. It's a little irritated. It's a little inflamed. Maybe Sue was playing tennis and she didn't hit the sweet spot all the time. She had to force it or whatever. So this little guy here had to do too much work. So imagine that you had yellow bands for every single muscle here. And all the yellow bands go out together. They come in together. They go out together. But one gets injured and it becomes a purple band. And so instead of going all the way out, the purple band goes to the point where it goes, screw this shit, I'm not doing that anymore, clamps down on you. Now you may have elbow pain, you'll call it tennis elbow, or your wrist may become tighter and somebody thinks it's carpal tunnel. And what it was one muscle in your forearm and the underbelly. Okay? So in order for transformation to happen in massage terms, you really need to gently put yourself in a situation, stretching that one particular limb at just in a relaxing way, hold it 3, 5, 7 minutes. Why is that? You're being stealthy and you're tricking your muscles into doing what you want because they have a mind of their own, because they're trying to protect you, because you've overplayed in tennis. Okay? And so it sits there and says, she's going to abuse us again. But actually what you're doing is you're helping it. And so you want to extend and hold 3, 5, 7 minutes, however long it takes, because eventually that muscle will regain and understand its full nature and reset as well as realign and give you full movement.
Yeah, and you feel it. You feel that release the longer you hold it.
And you feel it when you stand up to start to move. Now you will flow through the day as opposed to, well, I got to force my body to do this. This is why I don't understand some of my clients who are runners who say to me, it takes me 5 miles to warm up. I'm like, you spend the first 5 miles struggling with your body. Why? Spend 30 minutes, set your body, then go running.
It's a different mindset. I think, as a tennis athlete myself, I think about maybe drinking water or, whatever, but I think of being ready for the match. I didn't before have a mentality that the match starts way before with stretching and getting ready.
Exactly. Rafael Nadal, okay, all the greats.
Yep.
They are preparing.
Yep. For hours.
Yep. And for days.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
You're no different.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Questions?
No, I just like practicing what you've taught me, the feeling around and the taking my time and stretching.
Yeah. And here's the thing. When you were younger, when I was younger, I could muscle through things because your body will adapt. As we age, it's about correct execution, wonderful technique, and recovery and care. You do that. Sue met a guy up on Lee Canyon. She was riding up on the lift and he was going to the top of the mountain. He's 82 years old. 82 years old, still smiling, still doing the thing he loves at 82. And I have no doubt that he'll be there on the mountain at 92.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
All right. Look forward to your questions and look forward to hearing from all of you. Thank you very much. Jenn Ty Flow Massage, Sue Rodrigues, my coach Sue.